stories of great Christians. From its radio studios in Chicago, the Moody Bible Institute is bringing you Chapter 4 of the Gipsy Smith biography, From the Forest I Came, a Moody Press book by David Lazelle, freely adapted for radio by Rex Brenner.
The son of gypsy parents, I was born in 1860 in a tent near Epping Forest, just east of London. I grew up wild as the birds, frolicsome as the lambs, and as difficult to catch as the rabbits. I had no education and no knowledge of Gorgio life and culture. Our gypsy wagon, drawn by our faithful horse Prince, creaked and rumbled as my parents traveled through the counties of Essex, Suffolk, Norfolk, Cambridge, Bedford, and Hertford. But our roaming was suddenly and tragically interrupted when in 1865 my mother contracted smallpox and died. Her passing woke me to the full realization that I was a real boy, a lonely boy. And often, throughout my life, I yearned for my mother. But father, at mother's death, was crushed with grief that threatened to destroy him. Yielding to despair, he continued his practice of playing the fiddle to earn extra shillings in the public houses and taverns. The escape led to drunkenness, carousing, and immorality. Already tortured by the guilt, his torment was compounded because he'd promised Polly that he'd give up evil habits. Through prayer, he sought deliverance, but somehow Satan had blinded him to truth. He could not comprehend that by grace are ye saved through faith. He believed falsely that before he could accept Christ by simple faith, he must first feel saved, and so, powerless against temptation, he continued at the taverns. Even now, I wince as I recall one dreadful night, when father was fiddling at Falk's Tavern in Baldock. He had taken Zeke and I with him, and...
Mr. Barkeep! Mr. Barkeep!
Cyrus Fawkes to you, matey. Kindly address the proprietor with the respect due your elders.
I'm sorry, sir. Could I... Mr. Fawkes, could I have a glass of water?
Water he asks for. In the finest pub this side of London, he asks for water.
Hold your tongue, Jake. All right, me hearty. Water for the son of a fiddler coming on.
One for me too, Mr. Fawkes?
Oh, pesky rascals. If you was anybody but Cornelius's whelps, I'd turn you to the road.
Thank you, Mr. Fawkes.
Thank you, Mr. Fawkes.
You best swallow your water and get, if you don't want to see blood. 'Cause if tonight your papa don't pay me the wager he owes, I'm gonna bust that there fiddle right over his head.
I warned you before, Jake. No violence in here. I'll chuck you out the door. Anyways, Cornelius has had his divvy of ale tonight. He couldn't tell a pound from a pence.
What wager does Papa owe you, sir?
I beat him at euchre 4 times. He's been putting me off. Probably been spending it on Rosie upstairs.
Oh, here, there's no question.
Well, tonight's the night. He's gonna pay.
Rod, we'd better get out of here. He looks me.
No, we're staying. Papa may need my help. Besides, I haven't danced and passed the hat again.
You passed it once already.
Sure, earlier, for Papa had so much ale. Then it was for him. Later, I always pass it again. He never knows. And the pence I collect this time, I keep for myself.
Look, Rod, Mr. Fawkes is coming back. He looks like he wants something.
Well, enough, boy. You finished your water. You ready to dance again?
Sure am, Mr. Fawkes.
All right. Once again, everybody, let's hear it for the fiddler's son. Yeah! For the last time tonight, it's Rodney Smith to favor us with his Gipsy dance.
Please, sir. Help the poor fiddler. Give to the poor gypsy family.
Dastardly ruffian, filthy thieving gypsies. I'll put a stop to this.
Here, you're drunk, Jake. Get out, Jake.
Not till I'm through with that thieving fiddler. You, gypsy, drop your fiddle and come here.
Go out or I'll throw you out, Jake. Get out of here.
You daren't touch me, Cyrus. I'm getting my due from Cornelius now.
Leave my father alone.
Out of my way, boy, out of my way.
Ron,
I'm going to settle with your pa.
Hey, stop!
Ron, what do we do? I don't know.
No, gypsy, now. Give me that fiddle.
What do you think you're doing?
I'll ask you one more time, Cornelius Smith. You gonna give me that 6 shilling, or do I bust this here fiddle over your head?
I don't got 6 shillings.
Why, you drunken gypsy scum-eyed!
Jake! Man!
Hold him. Grab his legs.
Put your hands up.
Okay, now, got him? Now, pitch him out the door! Hey.
Father! Father! Are you all right? Look, his hair. It's all blood.
Got a nasty wallop on the head.
Papa! Papa! Can you hear me?
He's unconscious, lad.
Is he dead?
I don't think so.
Oh, no, not Father, don't! It can't be! Oh, help! Father!
Father, falling from his stool when Jake pushed him, struck his head violently against a nearby keg and slumped to the floor unconscious. He bore a nasty gash that healed slowly. Surprisingly, his fiddle was unbroken, and soon he was back at the taverns, fiddling and sporting. We children, not understanding Father's burden, watched, helpless, as the days dragged on. Days that stretched into months as we travelled. Father's depression deepened. One morning, we had stopped our wagon on the roadside near Luton while we waited for my eldest sister, Emily. She'd stayed behind in the town to sell goods to help support our family, and as we waited, 2 gypsy wagons came down the road. Curious, we watched as they drew near. I'll never forget Father's cry of joy as he recognized the families of his 2 younger brothers, Woodlock and Bartholomew. Ah, 'twas a glorious reunion as they embraced and wept. And after learning of Mother's death, our 2 aunts, sympathizing with us children, led us into one of the wagons. Meanwhile, Father and his 2 brothers sat on the bank talking.
It just doesn't seem possible. Polly gone.
We had no idea that...
It happened so suddenly, and with smallpox.
And you were separated from everyone.
Had to be, except for Emily and Ezekiel.
Thank God they recovered.
Yes, God has been good, but...
But now you're lonesome, we know.
Her death left an emptiness.
An emptiness that's grown for 7 years. Yes, Woodlock, I am empty. But the gnawing I feel inside, it's different. A deeper hunger.
Yes, a hunger, an emptiness deeper than the grief of death. Like a heavy burden, a weight?
Yes, a pressure. What's the use? You wouldn't understand.
Maybe we would. Go on.
Yeah.
Brothers, it's my soul. I must find God.
Cornelius, how strange.
I know. You think I'm crackers.
No, not at all. We're just surprised because Barth and I have the same burden.
You have?
Have had for weeks. At times, so heavy at heart that we felt we'd die if we don't get this hunger satisfied.
I know. There've been days when I couldn't eat nor sleep.
Yeah, I understand.
Worst of all, I broke my promise to Polly.
Promise? What?
Before she died, I promised to stay out of the taverns. Well, I haven't. I've been drinking more and more, trying to throw off this hollow feeling inside. I don't want to drink, but...
But the temptation's too great.
Yes, Now even the children are upset, afraid. Brothers, I've got to find the way to God. If my soul isn't saved soon...
Yes, salvation. That's what we need. Before he died, Reverend Lambert in Bedford told us about it, but we couldn't understand.
I wonder, brothers, does God have a purpose in our meeting like this? That we might find him together?
Let's stay together, travel together until we do.
Oh, why is it like that? They feel the need too.
Then it's agreed?
Right, agreed.
Oh, this is wonderful.
Yes,
just to be together again.
Together again. Where were you going when we met?
To Cambridge and then up to London. I thought I'd go to a church there. Maybe find someone who could show me the way to God.
Then let's all go with Cornelius Woodlock.
Fine with me. Well, come on. Let's go tell the women.
Right.
Happy to be reunited, Father and my two uncles now pointed their wagons expectantly toward London. Surely they'd find God there. Father and my uncles determined to know nothing else till they found God. They vowed to give up roaming and wrongdoing, and they camped their wagons on a plot of land at Shepherd's Bush. Father even sold old Prince. One morning, as Father was out walking, yearning to know the way to God, he met a man repairing the road. As they talked, Father finally told the man of his soul's need. Father was surprised when the man said,
"Tonight there is a meeting in a mission hall on Latimer Road. I shall come and get you and take you there."
As Father, Uncle Barth, and the man left that evening, Father said to us children,
I shall not come home again till I am converted.
Oh, not knowing what converted meant, I was afraid for Father. Following them at a respectful distance, I watched as they entered the mission. And after waiting a while, I stole quietly inside.
I do believe
the congregation was singing, and I watched, pale with fright, as Father marched right up to the altar and faced the pastor.
His precious blood I shall from sin.
Suddenly, Father cried,
Oh, God, help! Help me! Save me! Look, these chains all over my body. I'm bound. Set me free. Help me.
Father, in agony, slumped to the floor. I watched, stunned and trembling with fear, as Father writhed and convulsed. Terror-stricken, I screamed,
Uncle Barth! Do something!
Oh, I don't know what to do.
Preacher, help! What's wrong with my father? He's...
There, son. He'll be all right.
But he said he was bound with chains. I don't see any chains.
No, they're not chains that we can see, son. They're chains of sin. But watch. God is working. Let's everyone be seated. Be seated and pray. Friends, this man is just under conviction of the Spirit. God is working in his heart. We've seen things like this before. Let's just bow our heads and uphold him in prayer.
And so we conclude Chapter 4 of From the Forest I Came, the story of Gipsy Smith. This is another in the series, Stories of Great Christians, produced by the Department of Broadcasting of the Moody Bible Institute in Chicago.